there are just simply too much of information nowadays. Like there are so many advices that you can stick to, so many little, small like short quotes, or just like lines that in a not like in on surface makes sense, and you feel like you can follow it, like no matter the situation. And the moment you are in that situation, you tend to feel like, oh, this really isn't it. Like you feel differently from compared to when you heard about the code and you try to like follow it as if it's like your own dogma, like a rule inside you, like a rule in your life. But the moment you are in that situation, you can utilize it. Like you just become you again, and you make the same mistake over and over again. And I've been in this trap for a very long time, and just like in most of my videos, I don't have a solid grounded answer for this one as well. And I feel like for like in most part, like the vast majority of the kind of questions that I ask are basically so existential, like crisis kind of questions. And also, like if I knew answers to those questions, like for example, like what's the meaning in life, or like what's the absolute good or bad, good and bad, the objective morality kind of things. If I knew the answer to them, then I would be a fucking Jesus. Like it's just kind of obvious, but also at the same time, I cannot even give like some kind of like improvised version of like, yeah, an improvised answer. Like while we do not know how to solve this one, maybe we can stay well in this framework, so that like you are still building this, just like how Albert Descartes, was it? No, Albert Camus and Descartes. Yeah, it was Descartes who built this idea of improvised morality, or like was it something like that? So like it's basically you like he stated these rules, some these dogmas, so that like you need to follow these rules while building reconstructing your own sense and consciousness. It's something like that. It's been a pretty long time I read his book, so excuse me with that one. But my point being, I feel like every single time I watch new podcast, of one of the greatest minds in modern age, or like these entrepreneurs, fuck happiness, just work hard, just keep on going kind of work mindset, or happiness is what matters. I forgot his name. He's an Indian entrepreneur. He even wrote a bunch of books about happiness, money, and how to make money kind of things. And like it's good. Like I'm not saying they are selling courses, or like I don't even care if even if they are selling courses or making a bunch of money out of books that they write, because in my opinion I feel like they deserve it. Like that's if they can, then that's literally how it is. Like they didn't trick the system. They aren't typically lying in the first place. Like I don't know. Like I get how people perceive selling courses and like like monetary products to their own fans. But in my opinion, like we all do this to make money at the end of the day. Like of course, like you can do it out of your passion, like you just want to do the work, but like it's not something that we should ask them to do. Like it's like out of their own heart. It's not like just like charity. I never understood those people who forced millionaires, billionaires to donate their money to charity. Like I don't know, like like it's none of your business. Like it's literally none of your business. In my opinion, I feel like that's like the most one of the most dumb arguments that you can make. I don't know. It has never landed me. And like every single time I listen to this like new ideas, or like seemingly new ideas, or new rules in your life, they all like it's all the same cycle again. You get motivated, you feel like it's like the rule, like the truth, like part of how you should be living your life. And you apply that a couple of times, and you forget about it, and you realize how different it is in real life, like when you're actually in practical sense, like when you're trying to apply it, it just doesn't really feel like you're doing it in the first place, because it's not like, I feel like every single time when you're trying to apply a rule or an idea into your real life, what happens is most of the times these ideas came from these people's, like those people's their own experience, and like also shaped by their emotions and what they were thinking at the moment. So basically what it is like this, how do I say, like this short quotes, I don't even know how to say, like this, let's say ideas, I'm just gonna call them ideas, like these ideas aren't actually like what you call like rules, because at the end of the day, like it came from feeling first. So like what they felt from the experience of it, from the environment that they were in, things that they were going through, and then they felt something, and they like years later or like months later, when they were like out in podcasts or somewhere, like, or like Twitter, you know, like writing some shit, they remember that moment, but obviously they are in different place, different time, you know. So like they remember that moment, and finally they can introspect how they were thinking and how they were acting, so they write it down after that, after all that. So I feel like it's just so obvious that how like the reason why it's so appealing to us, because it's written by someone who articulates really well, who writes, who reads, most like the vast majority of people who I feel like who are on podcasts or kind of things, like they read any kind of things. They like, I feel like reading and writing are one of the most common habits that many entrepreneurs have. Writers, I mean, obviously they're fucking writers. They would write like every single day, 24/7. But like my point being, it's just obvious. Like it's kind of, yeah, it's just obvious if you think of it. Like the reason why you get appealed to it and it doesn't work in your real life, because we all have different situations, and you don't even know if you should be applying that logic into your situation, into that environment where you are in. Because what happens is you'll have like so different answers, like so many different results, and you won't even have time to like introspect at that moment with that idea that you just heard of from a literally like a stranger, you know, like you just know him through a couple of videos. So it's not going to stick to you, obviously. So I feel like it's never meant to be followed, but kind of you just need to like learn and realize, you know, like it's not meant to be followed. Yeah, because once you follow it, it's not gonna work well with you. Like it's, since it's different situation, and again, like you'll have to go through so many things, like in even inside you, because it's not something that you heard from a fucking god, like like an actual external being, you know, like about like someone who's how do I say it, superstitious, you know, being. So what happens is that you're going to question that belief as well. You're going to question, since it's not yours, it's not been, it hasn't been with you for a very long time. So you're going to be questioning so many times. Every single time you apply into something much bigger than into very like big moments, you'll be like, hold up, like is this like legit, you know, like is this legit? I mean, obviously it might be better than just doing whatever I want. But like at the same time, you just go like, I mean, it's just a dude who talks some shit on podcasts or like on Twitter. Like maybe he was a little bit lucky, or like he had some rich parents kind of things, or like maybe it just doesn't work in this kind of situations. You know, all the overthinkings, overthoughts, all the ideas come through your mind, and I think that's how this little this quotes, so called this life hacks, kind of not ruin us. I wouldn't say ruin. That's such a that's a way too strong word for this. Kind of distracts. You know, it distracts to actually see how your life's going, like through your own lens, and um, trying to introspect by yourself, you know, since it's your own, like you're the one, like it's only you, and you'll be the only person who's seen everything that has happened throughout your life. no one, not even your parents, let's say if stranger knows zero about you, your acquaintances knows about you like 10, and your parents know, like close friends to close relatives know about you like 500, then you yourself will know about knows about you like million. Like it's the gap between you, like how much you know about yourself, and how much other people, even your close ones, know about you, is massive. It's enormous. So I'm not saying like you should just keep on trapped, like keep on, like, how do I say, like trapped inside your own thoughts. Never share your thoughts to even to your close ones or beloved ones. My point being, sometimes you should stick to, like, you should try to do it by yourself instead of trying to find this one rule that will just magically do everything for you. Because at the end of the day, even when like this lines, these ideas might help you, but like if you actually remember, like if you ever tried any of this, Dr. Jordan Peterson, like you clean your room first kind of things, you have to do. You are the one who has to act instead of thinking. So it, like, if you keep on trying to find something to stick on, like, or lean on, then it's not time to think. You should realize that it's not time to think but act. And I just realized that this video really became kind of similar to the one that I just made previously. But yeah, I just wanted to like share my thought about these podcasters who say brilliant things. I'm not saying like they're wrong with it, but I just feel like you just have to listen to them and like kind of admire their ideas and admire how much they made, like their mindsets, or how good they can articulate their thoughts. Yeah, that's actually one thing that I'm trying to improve on. Um, so yeah, I think you should just cut it there and just realize that, okay, but such a great idea, I love it, but like my life is mine, and I have to find my own um life hacks, like that works exactly how I want in my own life, instead of just picking up some things and trying to use it and you just forget about them, or like they just don't work well in your life. So yeah, that's my point in those things. Thank you for watching the video.